Greetings and blessings, beloveds. Beautiful, beautiful Vibrillionaire soul mirrors. This is a last minute live that something came to my attention during a training this morning. But shout outs to all of those on our beautiful training this morning. This is by Terry Strader Lawson on Instagram and Facebook, which thank you so much, Terry. Thank you for posting this, because this is how we can affect transformation. Let me see here. I don't even have anything set up yet, so I'm doing this as best as possible. And this is how easy it is to plant ripples in a very conscious, intentional, effective way. So Terry posts this post, and it says, "We stand for love, we stand for peace, we stand for health, we stand for freedom. We are united, we are connected, we are growing, and we welcome all. Our voices are heard, and we won't be silent. We will not stop until all are free." And this came to my attention about 30 minutes to an hour ago. And she writes, "The conscious health freedom community is much bigger than we know, and much more powerful than the mainstream and media and government agencies have led us to believe. On Monday, August 2nd at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, which is 12 minutes from now, we are asking each member of the virtual health freedom community to share this post on their social media accounts to show just how big, powerful, and well-connected we are. We are everywhere. We stand for love, for peace, for health, and for freedom. We will not stand down. We are united and far more powerful than we've been led to believe. Let's show the world." So, my intention and my purpose to share this video is to share that this is how simple it is to affect transformation. Jeanette.395, thank you for joining us on Instagram. Let me know hashtag live or replay on Facebook and on Instagram. This moved me instantaneously. And this is the thing, you never know who you're going to affect when you share something. And truth be told, there's always things being shared. There's always things being shared. So this is an opportunity, and I wrote, and I'm not saying this to offend anybody, so if anybody takes offense of this, please do not feel that it was to be offensive. It was to bring clarity, intention, and purpose to the power that we have in our palms, to the power that we have in our computers. This is the revolution right here. This is external revolution from the projection of the internal revolution. And what I desire to share is, how are we living? Because we can post this on social media, but how are you living? Because that has more of a vibrational impact. And this will even affect even more stronger when one is living this. So, with so many posting, sharing, and giving into the things of the past that continue to birth, perpetuate, and continuously project chaos, confusion, and fear, it's time we intentionally, powerfully, and purposefully align with movements such as this beautiful soul shared today that impacted and inspired me to share. Thank you, Terry, for bringing awareness to this movement that is not televised. So you will not see this on TV. And I want to add something to this that I'm sharing, because for all of you know, we're having our global Samadhi silent meditation on the 10th of August. And I want to speak to all communities that if you feel aligned and resonant, to align with getting intentional in our silence. Because if we're not even listening to our voice, if we're not even feeling our living life inside of us, this is where intelligence is found. This is where wisdom is found. This is where life is found. Not found, but revealed, remembered, realized, actualized. It's from within out. So On the 10th of August, every 10th of the month at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we gather in silence. So I love this movement. There she is, Terry. Blessings, Terry. Great to see you. So this movement that Terry shared with me, I mean, it just moved me. And any opportunity that I have to share when people are doing, you know, conscious, intentional, purposeful, loving movements, experiences, and shares, of course I'm going to share. Because this is what I'm about. This is what my wife and I are about. Thank you, Terry. I love you so much, and I love what you share. And this is the thing, everyone. This is powerful. What you're sharing is powerful. If you're sharing things that are going to perpetuate the past, then we cannot complain and criticize others for what they do. Remember what, you know, the Master Mirror Jesus said. He said, before you remove the plank out of somebody else's eye, before you remove the splinter out of somebody else's eye, remove the plank out of your own eye. This means that everything that we're seeing outside of us is a minute expression of what is larger inside of us. So if we're seeing things that we don't appreciate, we don't enjoy, we don't want, then we need to look at the deeper cause within ourselves. And that doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. We all brought this into this world. We all, you know, brought our generational programming, multi-generational programming. So we all have planks in our eyes. I still have planks in my eyes that I'm still discovering and pulling little splinters out. But guess what? The more that I pull out, the more that plank is going to become smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. So it's not that I am like less affected than you, because I still do the work. So here's the point to get to this, because I didn't want to take it away from this, because Terry shared something that is so beautiful about this. It's like we have an opportunity to unite. And in less than 6 minutes, we have an opportunity to share this post everywhere. And this is how we vote. Not just with our money, not just with our dollars, as that is one way of voting. But I mean, come on, we know about crypto, we know about credit cards, we know about bank transfers. The push of a button is powerful. Like, these buttons are powerful. What buttons are you selecting on your computers, on your phones? What words, what messages are you projecting? Because it's adding to the continuum to perpetuate either what you don't want or what you want. So we have never been given so much power, so much of authority in our world. Because you're selling yourself every day as you walk into the world. Even as you look in the mirror, you're selling yourself to yourself. How do you sell yourself to yourself? And how are you selling yourself to the world? And how are you mirroring that selling to the world of what you're investing in? What are you watching? What are you sharing? What are you putting in this brain? Because I got a news flash for you. Whatever you put in this brain, it's going to reap those fruits and those harvests. So if you're putting things in your brain that are not serving you, then you're going to manifest what doesn't serve you. And you're going to mirror for others to manifest that. So we have never had a greater time that we have the responsibility that has been placed in our hands that our ancestors are like this. Yes, I'm behind you. I'm with you. I'm for you. What are we doing with that power? What are we doing with that authority? What are we doing with that blessing? We are being baptized from our ancestors because we have an opportunity to speak like they never had an opportunity to speak. They weren't even allowed to speak what we're talking about now. They were hung on a tree, burnt at the stake, tortured, spit upon, and imprisoned for what we freely talk about now. But what are we doing with this freedom that we've been given? Perfect love casts out fear. Beautiful reminder, Terry, because that's what it's about. It's about love. So yes, everything that I share, it's to look at the past with love and say, what are we willing to do about it now? We're not going to look at the past and be judgmental about it and critical about it and paralyzed out of fear that we don't do anything about it. Just so you all know, I'm going to share 2 things about me. I awoken in prison through fear, but it had to almost literally destroy me for me to wake up. Are you going to wait for that? Are you going to literally wait for fear to almost destroy you in this life, or almost destroy you that you wake up? Why not wake up today? I'm inviting you to reawaken to you today. Number 2 is, I'm going to give you an example that this is why I'm so passionate and intentional about this, because I was in prison. Actually, I was in jail waiting to go to prison, and I was, in solitary, locked up by myself. And so somebody smuggled a newspaper to me. And out of all the times that I read this newspaper, this person was sharing, and this example is not the importance of the example, but it is, because that's not my point. Because I go beyond. Or let me rephrase that. I do my best to not get caught up in the physicalness of life. The more I focus on the metaphysical, the spiritual, the vibrational aspect of life. So I don't focus so much on the physical. So those of you that know me, I don't get caught up in the physical, because I'm living in the inner world more than I'm living in the outer world. I choose to live in the inner world, because I don't want to live in the dream and the illusion of what I'm creating, thinking that I'm a victim, not knowing that I can manifest what's inside that's more powerful than what's outside. Remember the plank and the splinter? So when you take the responsibility of realizing you have a plank in your eye, then guess what that gives you? The power and the authority to access the home or the heavenly realm of what's going to destroy that plank. And it can happen overnight. Now, you got to let go of expectations, because expectations rob you from living life. Live intentionally, but don't live in expectation that you're not being present because you're so hopeful about something to happen. Live in this moment, and what you're living will birth what you're intentionally desiring to be, without even being caught up in it. So I was in this cell, and I read this newspaper, and it was someone being very judgmental and racist over Mexican field workers. Now when I read this, for my family, I said, you know what? I know that the Mexican field workers are one of the hardest working people right now in the land. Now yes, were whites hard workers back then? Were blacks hard workers back then? Yes. But what I'm saying now is we have more immigrants working in the fields than any other race. So this is where we are now. So this is where I was speaking from. So when I shared that, I shared this letter, and I'm getting to the point. And this letter reached somebody in Phoenix. And this person in Phoenix is the reason why we had the protest that transformed the paradigm of how field workers get paid and how field workers are looked upon. Go back about, I would say 10 years ago, you would see a protest all through Phoenix, and it went to LA, it went to everywhere. And I'm not saying this to boast, but I was told by that person in Phoenix, his cousin, that told me that my letter impacted his cousin. And his cousin started the protest that spoke for, okay, now I remember. It's when the immigrants, because I had wrote in my letter, and I have the letter to prove it if anybody wants to see it. I wrote in the letter, you're here criticizing the immigrants, when if we took, if the field workers didn't work for one day, millions of dollars and hundreds of people would starve. And when I wrote that, it reached this person, so they went on strike. And if you go back to about 10 years ago, they didn't work for about a couple weeks. I mean, it was being critical. Now, I don't know if I started that, but it's not a coincidence that when I did that letter, about a week or two after, the strike happened. So I put 2 and 2 together. I was blown away. So why am I sharing this? Because that letter to me represents how powerful you are. This is not about me right now. This is about you. But I'm sharing my story, so I'm getting chills right now. I can't fake these chills. The Spirit wants us to realize that we were placed on this earth to bring heaven or grace or love or compassion or life to earth now. Not tomorrow, not next year, not next decade, not next generation, but you are given the opportunity, the blessing and the honor and the humbleness to take in this huge but very important responsibility. Terry, I think you want to join me? Hold on one second. This is the reason why. Are you asking to come on? I'll bring you on. I'm not sure if you're asking. Because this is the reason why I'm sharing this. Terry's the reason why I'm sharing this right now. There she is. Facebook. If you want to go to Instagram and see Terry, go to my Instagram. Go to terry.strader.rawson already right here in the Facebook. If you want to join us on Instagram, join us on Instagram or just hear her. I'm hoping you guys can, you beautiful souls can hear her.
Okay,
Terry,
Michael, I just wanted to share.
Thank you so much.
I only have a couple minutes because probably some more kids are going to come today. But I just wanted to share what was going through my mind when I actually saw that quote and then I posted it. So this morning I was thinking, we are at such a pivotal time in humanity. And we are all chosen to be here at this time for a reason. And we all need to get in touch with what our purpose is for this time. I just want everyone to know that you were chosen to be here at this time in humanity, which is huge.
Yes.
Huge.
Yes.
A huge shift is coming, and we all need to raise our vibrational frequency, which means different things to different people. For me, it means connecting to God, starting with, dumping all your planks, your logs on God and saying, okay, I'm not perfect and I need your help to remove these planks from my eyes. And also to stop looking at myself as broken, diseased, whatever. And I need your fullness to come and fill me, completely take over all the darkness, and let me spread the love. Let me spread the light. And so this month I want to focus on the different things, the different toxins, if you will, whether they're mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, whatever it is, removing those things so that you can be your highest self. Because we all need to rise right now. We all need to rise. Yes. But the enemy, the world, whatever, is working overtime. Fear-mongering. Fear is a low vibration. Love is the highest vibration. We all need to be up here because we're not all racist. We're not all angry. We're not the problem. They want us to be at each other's throats, like what can cause division? A house divided will fall.
Yes.
A house united will stand. And we are going to rise. God wins. That's the spoiler alert. God wins, okay?
Always.
Get in touch. God loves you. God is rooting for you. Yes. And wants to fill you. And that's really the message that I saw when I saw that post and I shared it. I got it from Chris O'Brien.
Thank you, Chris.
And it just resonated with me. And I'm like, this is exactly what I was thinking in my, the download that came to me in my quiet time this morning. One thing that really helps me every morning, and I know it might seem weird because I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and I do my quiet time. I sing worship songs in the morning. And I didn't really know the science of it, but that also raises your vibrational frequency.
Yes.
So, anyway, that was my thing. I've got to hop off now because I've got kids coming.
Oh, thank you so much. We'll get on a live. We'll get on an actual live very soon.
Yes. I want to, like I said to you, I just want to compile basically a list of things because, here's another thing I want to speak on really quick.
Let me screenshot this real quick.
A lot of people don't realize how knowledgeable they are on certain things.
Yes.
And they dismiss their own knowledge. But when you look at what other people are doing and you go, oh no, she doesn't know that's bad for her, realize the knowledge you have, don't underplay it. Don't underplay your talents and your skills or whatever.
Yes.
You are fearfully and wonderfully made for a reason. And that's what I just want to encourage everyone. Don't think that your gifts are commonplace, because they're not. So anyway, thanks for having me on.
Cheers.
I gotta hop up. Oh, I don't have my water with me, but cheers.
Okay. I wanted to thank you, Terry, because I know you gotta hop off and we'll get on another live.
Yeah.
I just wanted to thank you because you are an example, because Atsi, Alice, and somebody else came on that I couldn't see, but we have people coming on here. I'm not able to see who's on, and we have another person that's on over here. But your rippling is affecting transformation in people right now. And
Perfect.
one thing
everyone's can.
Yes. One thing that I love that you said is that a house divided against itself will fall. But many people don't realize is the house is ourself, right? And then we mirror that so other people can build their home, right? The other thing that you said is, oh gosh, you just touched on so many important aspects that I do know you got to go, so I will respect your time. But I just thank you. I thank you for, you dedicating yourself to yourself, because you said I got to download. Many people are getting ideas from the outside, but you got an idea from the inside. And when you get an idea from the inside, we are bringing heaven to earth. But when we are getting ideas from the outside, we're just being copies of copies. We're not thinking for ourselves. We're not feeling the intuitive guidance. And the other thing that I love that you shared is everybody is, what I love to say, and not that I'm changing the Bible, but what I feel is that all of us are chosen, but few of us choose to choose ourselves. I believe we're all chosen. I believe we're all alive for a reason. And our stories are specifically designed so that we can gain the wisdom from those stories, that we can bring what we came to bring, that nobody else can bring but you. Like there's nobody that can bring or be you. And I think that's powerful for people to really, really internalize that and say, nobody else can be me. What an honor. Like, I don't want to be a copy.
Enough.
What's that?
Don't bash yourself. You're enough. Your story made you who you are, and you're here at this time.
Yes.
You become who you are for a reason. Right. So what you need to do is quiet the external noise like you were talking about. Yes. Turn it off. Don't listen anymore. Yes. Commercials are garbage. Everything is trying to distract you from your purpose, who you are, who God made you to be.
Yes.
Be that powerful person that God made you to be.
Exactly.
Just light it up like Chris says.
Yes. I love Chris. And if you guys if you beautiful souls are watching on Facebook, please follow Terry. Terry is doing a lot of amazing work, purposefully living. I just love watching your lives. I love watching your stories. I'm honored to to one day soon be on live with you, because you are an inspiration. You're an inspiration, Terry. And I just want to thank you. I want to thank you for sharing that post. I want to thank you for coming on today. And if you need me for anything, I would love for you to meet my wife. Are you going to be at the event in August?
I am.
Yay! We're going to get to meet you.
We'll see you then.
Yes,
anyway,
definitely.
My dog's barking. That's my doorbell.
There's
love
Michelle
you.
Garza. Blessings, Michelle.
We'll talk soon.
Thank you so much, Terry. Much love. And keep the revolution going of love.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Oh. Wow, what a treat. What a treat. You see, this is how it works. And I've shared before that all of your voices are important. So, hi to Mr. Post. Oh, tell him I love him. Tell him hi. So, all of your voices are important. And your voice is just important as Tony Robbins, the great of the greats. Your voice is just as important. And your voice needs to be heard. And whatever drives you, whatever moves you, do it. of course, that obeys and follows the golden rule. Do unto others what you would love to be done unto you. And when we say what would love to be done unto me, is not like, oh, I don't care what happens to me. I'm talking about in your heart, what you feel resonates with you. That's what you do for others. So, I came on to share about the importance of this event and the importance of the event that's coming up on the 10th, because Terry mentioned, and why do you think Terry is more peaceful and loving and joyful? It's because she listens to her inner voice. She listens to God. Do you listen to God? Do you listen to your inner voice? Call it whatever you will. I don't want to put a label on that. Call whatever that inner voice is that you... It opens up the door. It opens up the heart to you. I don't want to give that word to you. You give that word to yourself. Whatever that is, open up to it. And believe that more than you believe your logical self. I'm still working on that to this day. Sometimes the brain wants to tell me what it thinks is true. But it's coming from the past, or it's in the illusion of the future. Both are illusions. The illusion is the past, and the illusion is the future. So, what voices are you listening to? It's time you listen to your voice. And what I mean by your voice is the only voice that you can activate that's the realest voice is the voice that comes now. That comes from this moment. If it refers to the past, if it refers to the future, it's not your voice. It's an aspect of your voice, but it's like the demon and the angel on the shoulders. Who are they trying to convince the whole time? Wait, I'm doing my best to get on both here. Who are they trying to convince the whole time? As powerful as the devil is, as powerful as the angel is, who are they trying to convince the whole time? You. So who has the ultimate power of choice? You. So that means that this demon and angel, demon and angel is what? Is really one that needs to marry themselves. This is what I've done in my life, and this is what I invite others to do. And Terry was sharing something very important that I would love to just follow up on, is whatever you've been through, whatever you've lived, it does not matter. It matters because it's a matter of fact to you so you can live your life. But it doesn't matter to hang on to and judge yourself and criticize yourself and condemn yourself and crucify yourself. That's not serving you today. The past is meant to serve you from the wisdom that it brings so that you can unite both with love, meaning the past and the future, right now, marry it with love, with awareness, because without awareness you cannot experience love. So being aware of that infinite love, that eternal beingness, that divine wisdom you are, as you are no exception, in living from that place. Now, why do I share this? Because I come from drugs. I come from prison, being in gangs. I did a lot of damage in my time. And I did a lot of damage to myself. I'm living proof that you can literally kill your life. I killed myself every day. I killed my hopes. I killed my dreams. You know what my dream was? My dream was to either, go in a blaze of glory with the cops, or go in a blaze of glory with the gangs, with enemies. When I say go in a blaze of glory, is just shoot, or just do whatever I can to kill as many people before I die, and take as many people as I can with me, because I wanted to die. Now today I live dying every day. I die to the past. I die to the future. That doesn't mean that I'm not setting up my future and transforming my past, because both are serving me. But every day I embrace both. I play with both. But I live now. And I do my best to live now. Because I'm human. Guess what? We're great we're great at our humanness. But it's time we remember to be great at our beingness, because we are human beings, not just humans. We're great at being human beings. So, again, I'm going to read the post and we'll be calling it a day today. I will be going live later today. I'll be sharing other things today, so stay tuned. So, Terry writes, the conscious health freedom community is much bigger than we know, and much more powerful than the mainstream media and government agencies have led us to believe. Oh, I thought it was actually a community. Okay, thank you, Chris O'Brien. I'm going to tag him too, that way you could follow him. So he's saying in general. I thought this was a group that I was promoting. Okay, so he's basically saying in general, that's you. If you're watching this, that means you're more conscious than most. Because most people don't even realize they have a choice to choose. Most people don't even realize how free they are with the little freedom that you and I are realizing right now. What a gift. The conscious health freedom community is much bigger than we know, and much more powerful than the mainstream media and government agencies have led us to believe. On Monday, August 2nd at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, we are asking each member of the virtual health freedom community to share this post on their social media accounts to show just how big, powerful, and well connected we are. You are. We are everywhere. We are everywhere. We are everywhere. And at the same time, we are nowhere. We are everywhere and we are nowhere. What does this mean? I'll do another live on that. Let me write that down. I'll write it right now. We stand for love, for peace, for health, and for freedom. We will not stand down. We are united and far more powerful than we've been led to believe. Let's show the world. So now I'm going to go into the next aspect, because this is where I give honor to what Ali and I do, or what Ali and I surrender that flows through us, that flows through you. I will add something to this. And Terry mentioned it too. Let me get a glass of water. Just remember to breathe. Cheers. Cheers to you. Cheers to the beautiful, glorious, divine, infinite, eternal, powerful being of love and wisdom and life you are. That we all are. And cheers to the choice and to the choices and decisions that you make from here on forward. Letting go of the past, letting go of the future, and guaranteeing your past and your future and transformation and ascendance right now. This is another one of my passions, my purposeful passions. So I'll be sharing that as well. I will add something to this. It's not just time we stand for something. It's time we live to stand on a strong foundation of not just talking about what we want to happen. It's time we live what we desire, so that our worlds, your words, which is your world, that we speak are intentionally and vibrationally penetrate this beautiful word of ours, yours. Now I'm going to read it in regular terms, because I speak like this, because I want to unify the word with the world of life. It's time that we live what we desire, so that your words that we speak are intentionally and vibrationally penetrate this beautiful world of ours. If you are with this, please share, and more importantly, live it. I invite you to join me on the 10th of August and every 10th of the month at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for our global Samadhi Silent Global Meditation. I said that twice. For more information, message my wife, Alice Inoue, or me. Start today and join the inner revolution of consciousness. And why do I say join the inner revolution of consciousness? Because I said in the beginning that as a collective, we're so easily critical, judgmental, justified, attentive to what's going on outside of us. And we neglect what's going on inside of us. So when I say join this inner revolution of consciousness, the revolution is not happening outside of us. It's repeating outside of us. The inner revolution is happening within us. Terry mentioned that there's a huge shift. The shift is you. The question is, what do you want to shift to? Because there's a polarity shift. Very few people want to talk about that. There's not just one shift. There's one shift happening, and it's flowing right now powerfully. But there's a polarity of shifts. If I'm giving attention to the outside, then my shift is going to be more powerfully on the outside until one day I'm so destructive with myself that I either reawaken in this lifetime or the next. The other shift that's going on is that when you're looking inward, and this flow of energy is powerfully what people would take 20 years to work, you're going to do in a year or in months. There's an opportunity here. But at the same time, what would take years for somebody to destroy themselves, they're going to destroy themselves in months and weeks and days. I don't want to sound like I'm talking about a doomsday scenario here, because I die in this life, guess what? I'll be back and I'll do this again. And because I worked on my consciousness, I will know, because I know how to play with anyways, that I'll come back and do this again. And I'll have more of a choice consciously of how and where I want to do it. Because that is putting your treasures in the kingdom of heaven. You'll be able to choose what you want to do in the next life. But when you stay asleep, you'll just be rocked in the waves of consciousness instead of having your own ship to steer with the rudder of your focus of consciousness. So this work that we're doing here and now is not just going to benefit the ROI, the return on investment, the return on understanding, the return on investigation, introspection here. It's going to return lifetimes. And even for your future generations, it's impacting them now. This is why I'm so purposeful, intentional, passionful, lifeful of the fullness of now. So, this is why silence is so important. Terry even mentioned it. I got a download. Where did it come from? It didn't come from the outside. It came from the inside. If you're tapping into ideas that haven't been thought about yet, you're tapping into the heavenly realms. But if you're tapping into something that's already been tapped into, then you're just tapping into other people's thoughts, other people's beliefs or perspectives, your own past beliefs, perspectives, and thoughts. So, the effort that you put in, even a little now, but intentionally, because you could put in a lot of work, but if you're not intentional, it's just going to be a bunch of noise for the brain. And I'm giving a class. For you, if you would like to dive deeper into this realm and play with us and others like us, because we're reuniting our families, and we're coming powerfully, purposefully, passionfully together. Fully. And you don't want to miss this boat. You don't want to miss this ride. But don't wait for tomorrow what you can do today. Don't wait for next year. Because if you wait, I guarantee you, and I lived like this for many years, even believing I was awakened. If you wait, you're going to wait and be not in the same place, but in a more chaotic, confused, critical place a year from now, 6 months from now, 3 months from now, a month from now, a week from now. The continuum is going to continue. You can either take advantage of this continuum or you can let it take advantage of you, meaning destroy you. And destruction is a beautiful process, but I rather consciously destroy myself than unconsciously allow things to destroy me, which is really me blessing me so I can awaken. It's all you. It's all us. You know, we call it God, call it universe, call it creator, call it, you know, infinite mind, infinite intelligence. Call it whatever you want. It's really the greater aspect of you, which is one with God, one with the universe, one with source, one with spirit. At the highest level, spirit does not see you any different than itself. The question is, why do we do? Why do we? That's the work. And that's the work and the playground that I play in. And I love discovering more of myself, even through crisis, even through chaos, even through confusion. Yes, it happens to me. It happens to all of us. Even the so-called gurus at the highest level. It's just more subtler to us and we don't see it, but it happens at the highest levels. So don't judge yourself that it happens to you. Get out of your own way and play with yourself. Play with that self and get to know more of you each and every day. So, thank you everyone for joining us. This is happening. And I love that it's happening. And the thing about it is, there's a filler again. What it's about is when so many people say that life is just, there's so much bad in the world. There's the law of equilibrium, the law of balance, the law of harmony, whatever you want to call that. There's so many different words for so many different teachings and all this, but it all boils down to one thing, is oneness. We're coming back to ourselves. So when you see a lot of bad, guess what that means? There's a lot of greatness. So when you see a lot of bad, blessings, Brenda Morales, great to see you. Great to be here now with you. When you see a lot of bad and you focus on that, you're going to create more bad thinking that there's more bad. But if you see a lot of bad, that is an incentive, that is an invitation, that is inspiration, letting you know that now you're aware of what you weren't aware of, what you weren't aware of before, because greatness is arising within you. Because if you could not identify bad before, because that's where we were before, there has always been corruption. There's always been deception. There's always been these things that are happening now, from time immemorial. I mean, if you want to go biblical, even Cain and Abel. It started way, way back then. A brother killed a brother. It started way back then. But the question is, what playground, what sandbox do you want to play in? And where do you want to invite people to play with you? If you want to play in chaos, you're going to invite more people to chaos. If you're going to play in judgment, you're going to invite more people to play in judgment. But if you want to play in wisdom, in love and compassion, in peace and patience with yourself, you're going to invite more people to play in this playground with you. And the more you invite, and the more we invite people to play on this playground, we're going to dissolve the exterior layers of the destructiveness that it's really meant to serve to inspire, ignite, and inspire and catalyze the greatness within us. That's the playground I'm inviting you to play with. And if you need people to play with, Alice and I, and Atsi, and Brenda are here, and Michelle, and Terry are here to play with you. My phone is weird. It's only letting me, let me see. It's only letting me see a little bit. So before we go, let me see who's on. Thank you for sharing, whoever shared. Yeah, please share this video. Please share that post. Because the world needs you to share. Share others that are sharing about conscious, harmonious unfoldment. And I'm going to say this without judgment, but not the elusiveness of, positivity is going to change your life. But responsibility is going to transform your life. Because we've realized that playing on the outside, trying to make things happen, is not working. We've tried everything. Look at how far we've come. We've got super powerful technology to transform the world. And the majority, and I say this without judgment, but I say this because things have got to transform if we want this world to transform, is sharing videos about things about, people getting hurt, the news, and I'm even going to say it. You all know what I'm talking about. The thing they put in your arm. The thing they put in your arm to make you think that it's going to be better when the greatest cure is inside you. I've seen it time and time again transform lives again and again and again. Inject you with you every day. Now, I don't know who I'm taking this from or using this from, but I love how it says this. So I'm going to be a little copy here, because for those of you that know that if I do use somebody's quote, I give them honor is due. So I'm not able to know who exactly said this. One of them that says it is Les Brown. Another one who says it is, not able to remember his name right now. Think about Proctor. I'm not here to press upon you, but I am here. No, I'm not here to impress you. That's how it goes. I'm not here to impress you. I'm here to press upon you the need to show up for you. And I'm going to say this because it needs to be said. You want to show up for your mom, for your dad, for your husband, for your wife, for your children, for your families, for your community, for your clients, for your business, for your life. Show up for yourself. Because if you're not showing up for yourself, you're cheating everyone that I mentioned. And if you didn't know that before, guess what? It's not your fault. We've all been there. But if I don't share this with you, then I'm not going to do what I share justice. Because it's all about you. And if you want to know more what I'm about to say, let's have a private conversation, because I cannot go too deep into what I'm about to say. But all this is you. All this that you're experiencing that seems to be against you is you. It's so easy to say that, oh, I'm one with God, so I am God incarnate. But we won't dare say that if I believe there's so much evil, I am evil incarnate, because I don't want to take that responsibility. Trust me, I know that it's challenging. It seems preponderous and overwhelming. But if it wasn't in your space, it's there for a reason. It's there because you're ready. You're ready. Because things that show up in your life do not show up by accident. They show up for a purpose. And I'm telling you, because if you knew me before, I had no hope in this world. I didn't want to live. Anybody that wanted to help me, I tell them they're crazy. And coming from a Christian background, I'll tell you what I would say. I know I'm going to hell. And I'm already burning in this hell that we call life. So how bad could hell be? And I'm not going to burn for eternity because I'm going to kill the devil. I'm going to kill as many demons as I can. And it's going to be my throne. That's how naive, and that's how, like, even when I hear my words, the words that come out of my mouth say it, I don't know how I could have thought that thought, that I could destroy the devil. We're talking about the superior being of all destructiveness, of all darkness. And I thought I was arrogant enough to destroy the devil. I mean, come on. That just blows me away every time I remember that. It's like, how was I able to think? But guess what? I do that daily. I destroy with love the darkness inside of me. And I destroy the light inside of me. Because when the light and the darkness is destroyed, you find the pureness of awareness, the pureness of consciousness. I'm not here to play favorites, like we vote for Democrats and our Republicans. We vote for, I could be here forever naming different things that we vote for, that we choose for. But guess what? I'm here to unify all of it together because it's all love. The destructiveness and the darkness and the light and the constructiveness is meant to serve. But it has its place to serve. And if you don't graduate, meaning if you don't transform the darkness, then the darkness is going to continue to serve you, which you don't want, until you allow that darkness to consume everything that you're not, to die to everything that you're not, so the light and the constructiveness can serve its place. But then you marry the two because it's the head and the heart. This is what it's all about. This is what it's all about every day. This is what it's all about every day. Different polarities, different dances, different playgrounds, different stages, different dreams, different canvases, different books that are being written, that have been written, different performances, different movies, different stories, but one life that is yours, that is you. So, I don't even know how long I've been going. Thank you, Terry, because you inspired this. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We'll see you on the next live. Much love. You want to know more? You want to dance with us on this playground? I'm honored, humbled, and blessed to play in this playground with you. So, if you want to join our groups, if you want to join our private sessions, we're here to make a difference, to be the difference, to make a difference, to live the difference. Blessings. We'll see you on the next live. Much love. Amen, says Brenda. Atsy, oh, you can. Not sure what you meant by that, Atsy. Can you share what you mean by that, and then we'll go? I don't want to leave anything. Well, everything is left unsaid. That is why the silence is so important. So remember to join the silence on the 10th of August. And please, please, please share, because the greatest vote that we can vote is silence. Because if you're not going in the silence, then you're going to perpetuate an identity that you think you are, that you're much more than that. And I can honestly say that I'm living witness and testimony daily to discovering more of that, to exemplify more of that, to share more of that, to live more of that, to love more of that, to die more of that. Yes. She says that you have the power to create and destroy every moment of every day. And the greatest way, thank you so much for that, Atsi, because this is my final thoughts. The greatest way to destroy and create, the greatest way is to die, meditate, and pray in the now. Because in the now you can't bring the past. In the now you can't bring the future. Because it's all here now. It's really all here. The past is being transformed now. The future is being established and set right now. So the more you can be here now, the more you ground yourself with you. And you balance these beautiful worlds of you together. So that you can speak with more authority, more responsibility, more presence in this world. Thank you. Much love. We'll see you on the next live.